What's going on, champs and champettes? It's FireMonkey here, and in today's YouTube video, I want to go ahead and talk about an upcoming rumored Overwatch collaboration in Fortnite. Now, before we go into all the information and specifics, I do want to mention, as I do whenever we talk about insider leaks here and there, is that keep your hopes, a little bit lower. Even though it has been rumored, and even though some of these leakers, like the one we're going to be talking about today, Shane BR, have a track record for leaks before, there have been times when insider leaks have been incorrect or never ended up happening in the game at all. So keep this information with a grain of salt, that even though it technically exists right now, and even though the information seems to point towards it being real, it could still be fake. We've had these rumors and stuff, or I guess, we've had this information I've shared with you guys with stuff like the Adira F in person, who mentioned stuff like the 28 years later collaboration, stuff like, I think, what is some recent, I think Ed and Eddie was rumored by them and stuff as well, and they are accurate about it, but at the same time, still just be cautious, because, things can change all the time. Plans can be demolished or whatever else. They can go ahead and decide last minute to delay something or decide not to do it. But with all that out of the way, let's talk about this potential collab. According to Sheena over on social media a few days ago, we're going to be getting an Overwatch collaboration within the next 3 months in Fortnite. It is unknown what the skins will be, how far into the 3 months it actually releases. It could be like a month, it could be 2 months, it could be super far away at like the end of the next season or something like that, if that even goes far enough. I'm not really for sure, at the end of this season, but apparently in the next 3 months we're going to be seeing some type of Overwatch collab in the game. We don't know what the skins would be. I highly suspect it would probably be the more popular characters that Overwatch kind of like shoehorns into all collaboration stuff, like Kitiko, Mercy, those type of characters. Maybe we can get like a Reinhardt or a Reaper over in Fortnite, but we currently don't know. And we don't know if it would be a two-way collaboration where Overwatch could get like a Jonesy 76 skin for Soldier 76 or something like that. So there's a lot of unknown territories, but it is interesting to see this get rumored recently after we had a false rumor regarding Lego Fortnite having like a hairpiece for a actual Overwatch character. For people who don't remember that story and that situation, there was a whole entire situation where people noticed that I think it was Lego version of Hanzo from Overwatch from a real Lego set had its hairpiece in the Fortnite files, and people thought that this was a little bit of a teaser for an Overwatch collaboration or an accidental leak for one. Meanwhile, people are quick to realize that that hairpiece was actually being reused in Fortnite for an actual Fortnite original skin that the Lego mesh for the hair just kind of matched a little bit better for, meaning that it wasn't originally intended to be used for Lego Hanzo for specifically a collaboration in Fortnite, even if the actual hair model itself in the Lego world came from an Overwatch collaboration. So it was definitely an interesting thing to see, but there's also the chance that when that rumor started and when we started hearing information about it, that maybe there was some interest that perked up between Activision Blizzard and Epic Games to potentially do an actual Overwatch collaboration in Fortnite. And since there already are Lego models that exist of Overwatch characters, it would make it a lot easier in order to go ahead and make Lego versions, because you kind of already have them in existence, and Epic Games has already reused some of those meshes before for other Fortnite original characters. But I definitely think it's going to be interesting if we actually do get an Overwatch collaboration within the next 3 months, because it's already rumored we're going to be getting a Marvel Rivals collab in the next month around like Valentine's Day, being I think Luna Snow and another skin. I could be incorrect on that, but I made a video recently talking about that in one of the previous uploads, talking about the Adira F and leaks and stuff. But it definitely would be interesting to see basically a competitor of Overwatch, Marvel Rivals, arriving in Fortnite, and then like a month later, Overwatch, which already has their own mini battle between Marvel Rivals already, kind of releasing a collaboration in the same game as one of their competitors. I'm not against it at all, right? I think it's just more funny than anything if, especially around the same time, we get both of the kind of like those hero shooter games collabing with Fortnite. But then again, Marvel Rivals has already collaborated with Fortnite before with that like Doom skin we got before and like a Marvel Rivals cape and stuff, so it wouldn't be too shocking to see more Marvel Rivals content. But I think it is just more shocking to see the timing, if it is true about Overwatch and the Marvel Rivals thing, that we could be getting both more collaborations for both of those franchises in Fortnite at around the same time period or the same quarter of 2026. I guess with all that said, and my apologies kind of like butchering my words there for a moment, I don't know what happened. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you think about a potential Overwatch collaboration? Do you think it's actually going to be happening, or do you think it's something like the Demon Slayer collab rumors or the Yakuza collab rumors, where it might have been true at some point, but it doesn't appear like it is going to actually end up releasing in the game. Of course, I'm always on the skeptical side where, like, honestly, in the past month, I haven't even really bought anything in Fortnite. The only thing I bought was the Iris Out Jam Track, and I only got that because of the dumb ways to die V-Buck thing that happened. But I don't know, it's just, it feels like we're getting a lot of collaborations in this game. Until next time, however, I hope champs and champions enjoyed today's YouTube video, and of course, when I give these little disclaimers like, hey, keep everything with a grain of salt, I'm not saying, oh, I hate all these collabs, Fortnite should never do a collab. I'm just saying it as a, hey, don't get super excited like I do whenever I hear Yakuza Fortnite, and then nothing ends up coming from it, because on the off chance that something doesn't end up happening, I don't want you guys to go ahead and, you know, get super excited for something, and then it just doesn't go your way at all, and next thing you know, it's 2029, you're still holding on hope that maybe one day my favorite franchise will end up in Fortnite, maybe one of these days. Until tomorrow, however, like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you didn't like it, and who knows, maybe one year we'll get a High Guard collaboration in Fortnite if that game does well. This video should be coming out like an hour or two before High Guard actually ends up releasing, so maybe it does end up being well and doesn't become the next like Concord 2 like everyone's kind of been rumoring it to be or whatever else. I know this kind of off topic, but I've been hearing, you know, people talk about High Guard recently, so I thought I'd just throw that in there. Until tomorrow, peace out.